everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sal's Comic Roundup. I'm, of course, Sal. I deviated from the formula a little bit in the last episode to talk about casting speculation for the anticipated AMC Preacher series. Link to that right there. And it was such fun that I thought I'd go off the beaten track a little bit and talk more about comic-related things in my stock of nerd artifacts. The first one I want to talk about today is the Alien Illustrated story by Archie Goodwin and Walter Simonson. This is a collection of the illustrated graphic novel based off the shooting script for Alien by Dan O'Bannon and adapted for the page by Archie Goodwin, who was a former Marvel Comics editor and contributor to the acclaimed Star Wars comic series back when that was at Marvel. The writing is straight from the movie, and the editorial decisions made in here are fantastic. But I cannot stress enough how unbelievable the art is here. Walt Simonson, he is a legend in the comic book industry, and probably most prominently known for his contributions in the Mighty Thor series in the 1980s. Anything that you liked about the Thor movies is pretty much all thanks to him, and maybe a little bit of JMS. This book is simply stunning. To release it in oversized hardcover like the one I own is just fantastic. I pore over the book probably 3 or 4 times a week, and it's a constant source of inspiration for me, not just as a comic book fan, but as a comic book creator. I have my own space saga going on, and I just look through it for inspiration and ideas. As a comic book creator, it's a manual. As a fan of both comic books and the good parts of the Alien franchise, it's a work of art. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Published by Titan Books, and retails for anywhere between $35 and $50 depending on where you find it, but it is worth the price of admission alone, I guarantee you. Another cool hardcover book that I have and I'm blown away by every single day is The Art of Bioshock Infinite. It's 184 pages of bewitching art that makes you feel like every turn of the page is a tear into another dimension, both familiar and demonstrably strange at the same time. If you know anything about Irrational Games and the Bioshock franchise, or at least the good parts of it, then you know that there is an unhinged amount of detail etched into the very genetic code of this game. Concept art, character designs, locations, right on down to clothing, logos, flags, propaganda posters, merchandise sold in Colombia. Even if you know nothing about the franchise, you can lose an hour just poring over this book. Also, of course, you're going to have spoiler territory, so you really don't want to ruin the game for yourself if you have any intention of playing it, so, you know. Published by Dark Horse, and retails for anywhere about $30. You'll probably find it online for cheaper, depending on where you're looking, so worth picking up, though. And finally, I want to showcase my amazing piece of art, and I call it art because that is what statues are. You think the David, the Thinker, and now the Killing Joke. Kotobukiya's ArtFX statue came in the great box that showcased high-res images from the statue and depicting the cover, but who gives a crap about the box? I ripped that open and I just got right into the nitty-gritty with my statue. It was actually one of the most fun statues I've ever had because I got to put it together myself. I mean, there's some assembly required, it's not a really big deal, but, you know, it gives me a sense of ownership, of authorship of the statue, and it's interactive as well. You pop in the batteries, the motion sensor goes off, and it makes a simulated sound effect of the camera going off, so it can take provocative pictures of you. It's a little sensitive, so I keep it off most of the time, but it's still a really, really great feature. And it came with a bondage little person that is stunningly and, in fact, uncomfortably accurate by Brian Boland's Killing Joke designs, which is why he's not featured in my Killing Joke statue. You see, I wanted a statue of the Joker, not a talking point to answer a million questions about what kind of a freak I am when my parents come to visit. I loved it when I first saw it at New York Comic Con last year, and I love it every single day when I get up and I have to go into the bathroom. Such detail, an amazing recreation, and it's only about $100. I mean, if you love the character or you love Alan Moore's classic Final Batman story, you should pick it up. It's totally worth picking up. I have it. It was a gift, actually, by my girlfriend for me for Christmas time. She lovingly recreated the present that Joker gives Batman in the Christmas with the Joker Batman animated series episode. If I can get a minute, I'm going to throw that up there so you can take a look at the really, really awesomely recreated present that she made for me, and it was such a great surprise. It reminds me how lucky I am. So that's it for me today on Sal's Comic Roundup. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And if you have a second and you want to help out the show and the channel in general, click the like button and subscribe to our channel for updates on Little House Online video content. And also click the box over here for whatever I decide to put in there. I usually make the decision when I'm editing, so I have no idea what it could be. But trust me, it's relevant and you will very much enjoy it. I'm enjoying it right now, as a matter of fact. It's oh yes, that was such a good time. Anyway, click and find out. And as always, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on LittleHouseOnline.com.